It's all yours.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming to Community Board 2 Youth Service Committee meeting today. And before I even say anything, I'm just going to let you guys know Ms. Maggie Ortiz, one of the members of Youth Services, will not be attending tonight. She's having a few personal problems, as she informed me earlier today. And with that, I guess we'll go right into Borica College. Joseph?
I don't see him on yet.
Joseph's not on. Girl Scouts of Greater New York. Okay, not doing too good there. Bronx River Alliance, are you there?
You gotta give people more time, Larry. It's not even 6:05 yet.
Okay.
So let's just wait a couple of more minutes.
All right.
Maggie's on. Hi, Maggie.
Hi.
Okay. What's up, Maggie? I see Kevin's on too. Kevin Ellison.
Oh, hi, Kevin. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? Prayers go out for the victims in the housing collapse yesterday. That was a sad thing to hear.
So for everyone who hasn't done so, they can put their information in the chat. So that way, whatever information we get at the meeting, we can email it out tomorrow.
You are presenters here yet, Cynthia? Nope.
Am I present today? Hello. This is Mr. Dobbins.
Hello? Hey, Guns Up Lifetime. How you doing?
Oh, hi, I'm sorry, I'm a little confused. My name is Amelia. I was trying to join on my computer, but it was asking me to sign in to start the meeting, but I'm able to get in on my phone.
Hi, Amelia. Thank you for letting us know that. I don't know why it was telling you that. The meeting is started and I'm the host. So, but thank you for bringing that to my attention. And if you want to retry to, sign in on the computer, can. But if you're comfortable on the phone, you're from the Bronx River Alliance, I'm assuming.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
If you're comfortable on the phone, then that's great. So you're third on the agenda today, also.
Okay. I'll try one more thing, and if not, I'll dial it again. Thank you so much.
What about 6:10? Give them 4 more minutes. Is that good?
I mean, you're the chair of the committee. You already got the recorder going because you told me to start the recorder.
Eureka College is here? No. Girl Scouts of Greater New York is not. And Bronx River Alliance is trying to dial back in. Okay. 3 more minutes. 6:10 then. 3 more minutes. Well, sorry.
Larry, I won't be able to stay on too long. The ceiling fell on me
What? Whoa. Are you all
in my
right?
own dining room.
You
Yeah, I
okay?
had to go to the hospital. Yeah, I had to go to the hospital. I messed up my back, so they're gonna do an MRI.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, now I'm gonna do that 311 call because the rain and snow is coming and it's gonna end up collapsing my whole roof.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna stay around as long as I can.
All right. Thank you. Hope you feel better.
Thank
So
you.
sorry.
Thank you, Amelia.
Hello. Be careful, Sandra.
Yeah, Sandra, I feel better. Larry, we have one of the first presenter, Joseph Collazo.
I'm here.
Joseph, we're ready for you. Go ahead. Take the floor, Joseph. It's all yours.
Okay,
Thank you
all
for
right.
coming too. Thank you.
You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Joseph Collazo, and I will be speaking on Boricua College. And I'll be giving you a briefing on what the college offers and everything about it. But I wanted to begin really quickly. I was struggling to get into the meeting, but now that I'm here, I wanted to open up with by showing you a pencil. Everybody's known a pencil for years. Really quickly, I want to bring up this pencil because, when you all took those SRAs and standardized tests, we were doing that with a pencil, usually a number 2 pencil, right? By standard, um, everybody recalls having a pencil. So why the pencil? The reason I'm bringing up a pencil is because it's a very important tool to represent what I'll be speaking of. And I said I was going to talk about the college, right? So um, this pencil, I have a story really quickly about, I was doing an event with my director, and we were going to Madison Square Garden, right? It was a big job fair, and we had to think of things to, we had, of course, to bring things to give out to people. And my director tells me, excuse me, he tells me we're going to be giving out pencils. He hands me a bunch of pencils. And I said, are you sure this is what we have to give out to the people? I mean, it's not very inviting when you give someone a gift and it's a pencil. And he said, yes, there's a method to it. We're going to be giving out these pencils. So I scratched my head. Okay, we stuffed everything in the bags and everything. Point was that next to me, there was another booth and a lady was giving out these beautiful bags. And I went over, I took a moment to her booth and I said, ma'am, can I have one of those bags, please? She said, of course, they're for free, take it. So lo and behold, I open up the bag. Guess what's in the bag, ladies and gentlemen? Pencils. So never doubt when you start something, it's very important. And I started with pencil because I'm going to be speaking about Boricua College. Boricua College, okay, it's been in existence for 47 years. So it's a very important college established in Brooklyn, okay, to help the Puerto Ricans. Originally, the founders were Puerto Rican and they were focusing on the many problems that Puerto Ricans were facing. So yes, the word Boricua, if you think about what that might mean to you, that represents the territory of Puerto Rico, which they called, when they found the area, the original explorers, they called it Borinquen, right? So hence the name Boricua College. So I want to keep your interest today on that point because this education, this education, it is not just an institution for Puerto Ricans. Yes, the founders were Puerto Rican, and the focus was on the original name of Puerto Rico, the territory itself, Borinquen. And you will see Boricua College at our campus, which is located in 890 Washington Avenue in the Bronx. So anybody coming to the Bronx, you can't miss the campus because it is initially a 14th floor tower, if you will, campus, and it can hold up to 2,000 students. And I've been here working with my fellow colleagues to recruit anyone interested in the school and the programs. Okay, so I guess that was my beginning. The other thing was that everyone has a name. Your institution has a name that is called. Every institution carries a name, and I spoke about why we call ourselves Boricua College, right? So, does anyone have any questions so far regarding the school? Anyone have any questions on what might be something that you can take from this, from the school itself?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Joseph, I would like to know what degrees you offer? 2-year, 4-year, master degree?
Well, yes, exactly. Great question. So yes, we are a 4-year accredited institution, and so you can obtain your associate degree, and you can do that in as well as the bachelor's degree, and you can also obtain your master's degree. So those programs are offered as well. So we are a 4-year accredited institution. So many of our students are transfer students from 2-year institutions, and then they come over and they transfer their credits once they have their associate's degree to work on their bachelor's and their master's. Okay, anyone else? So,
Hello.
yes.
Hi. My
Hello.
name is Maggie. How are you?
Nice to meet you, Maggie.
I wanted to ask, because I know I went to a fair in Casita with Borica College,
Yes.
and they were stating that they take kids with autism.
So the special needs is your
Yes.
question? Do special needs? So from what I understand, there's a program, there's special programs, but not for the special needs. So you would have to take a test to get into the college, which is it's called the ATB Ability to Benefit, and that's to basically prove that you can take the coursework that will be offered. So there isn't a program that special needs children can obtain to become students. But if you're asking if a special needs child, I know there's different levels like autism, right?
No, I wasn't told that. I was told different. That's why I'm
Right.
on right now, because I needed to ask those questions. But
So you have, well, you have a
you don't
specific,
know that
right?
the guy that represented Boricua College told me they do take kids with special needs. I don't know if they changed it, but I just wanted to ask that
No,
question.
they are allowed to study at the college, but remember, they have to pass the entrance examination. That's what I was explaining to you, that there's a specialized test that the state has them take, and then the
Yes, I
individual
understand.
instruction. So I was gonna get into that, how the structure of the college is different than traditional colleges, because you don't have the traditional setup here where the student has papers and goes to through a syllabus, sits down in a classroom. There's a different design with Boricua College, because when they thought out what would, theoretically be different and what the needs are for the Puerto Rican students, they were thinking about how the student relates on a one-on-one basis. So you have what they call facilitators, which are the professors, and the students actually come to meet their professors, their facilitators, once a week, and they sit on for an hour, and that one-on-one session allows you to, any struggle that you have with your studies, you can get it done in that hour. And then you have a colloquial, which is a group session, which fellow students, no more than 14, there's a group of about 12 or 11 to 12 students, and you're sitting next to each other discussing topics that are brought up by the facilitator once a week.
All right,
And the
no
rest,
problem. I guess I'm gonna have to look into
what I
other
want you to do,
options.
what is your name, ma'am? What is your name?
Maggie
Maggie, your last name?
Ortiz.
Maggie Ortiz. I want you to call back. I'm gonna, at the end of this presentation, I'm gonna give everybody my phone number, because our director has been away, but he's coming back on Monday, and he has the answer to your question directly.
All right.
So, okay, thank you,
You want
Maggie.
my number now, or you want?
Oh, sure, sure. I'll write it down.
Go ahead. 347
Yes.
528 8013.
Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you. I'll be leaving this meeting. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Very good. You have a good, get home safe, or be safe.
Bye, Larry.
Bye-bye now.
Bye,
Maggie,
everyone.
Maggie, thank you. Joseph, let me ask you, did you
Yes,
put
sir.
your information in the chat box so we all can, if we want to contact you, we can reach out to you?
I sent out a flyer, which has my
It's on the second page.
Second page. Okay. Thank you, Joseph. Because
yes,
I saw a great story last year about an autism young lady
yes, sir.
that went to law school and graduated. So I'm pretty sure we got some school in New York City that takes kids with autism and special needs.
Definitely,
I'm sure that. Okay.
definitely, most definitely, Larry.
Any more questions for Joseph? Anybody?
Any other topics? Well, so before I was mentioning that it's what measures up as a traditional college. What's different about Boricua is that I not only I can speak from my own experience because I just recently became a student myself, so I'm going through the process of studying here myself as well. So I could tell you firsthand some of the things I mentioned about individualized learning and how they study here in modules versus a textbook where you have to open up and learn and memorize. I mean, studying here involves the same effort, but however, that push that I told you that's been given by the professor and speaking to your fellow students helps you enhance and retain and opens up a different mindset of thinking because now you're not memorizing for a quiz or for a midterm and exam. You're actually utilizing what you've learned that week in experiences. They take you on trips, and one of the stages is after individualizing colloquium, besides cultural and theoretical is experimental studies. You actually go out to well, in my case, we went to the Bronx, and the previous lady mentioned casita. I think that's what I heard, but she said
Yes, Casita Maria, yes.
there's casitas in the Bronx, gardens that are formed by people, and they tend these gardens. When you walk into one of those gardens as, on your visit, you could feel the difference when you step on the ground. You know, they even have roosters, and and this casitas really remind you of, if you've ever been to Puerto Rico, of that environment. So I got to write a log on my experience on touching the fruit from the trees that they have there and the environment that I spent in that trip. So you're actually taking these field trips, and they require you to do 6 of them in the curriculum. So that opened up a whole host of experiences, you know, that I didn't have before. I would have just passed by that garden. I knew the gardens existed, but I actually going inside of it, you know, and then, you know, with the New York City and all the crowd and the noise, when you go into one of these gardens, you actually experience what it is to, you know, think about maybe or feel tropical, you know, like the only thing was missing was some palm trees, you know, which won't last in New York City. But to add to those are there's 5 ways of learning, and I mentioned the first way, and we send out packages because when I sit with someone that's interested, a prospective student, I ask them, what do you like? So this way, if I see that that lady was interested in children and programs for children, she probably might be well suited for the childhood education program, right? Childhood education, she can study that field. Someone who feels like they very helpful, their service to humans, you know, human beings, helping out. They've been in the field of human services, and they talk about how they like to help people. They feel that calling of the community. I'd say to them, well, then you study human services here at Boricua College. You know, you can work in a hospital, hospitality. I'm sorry, the lights they come up. We're on a timer here at the college. So I'll be jumping up and down. I apologize. So I was saying, so there are several different instruction fields you can study under your instruction here at Boricua College. And it depends on you. And right, you can rule out, depends on what you want to decide to do. Liberal arts, human services, early childhood education, business. If you talk about business and you want to go being your own boss, you know, those are some of the topics. But basically, when I'm recruiting outside, the question that I often ask is how far you got with your education, because usually people are very busy. But generally speaking, if I asked you, hey, how far did you get with school? Then the person that invites you in, so you have the sky's the limit with you because you can always go back. Going back to the pencil has an eraser. So many of us, including myself, that went back, we use it to correct mistakes. So that's just a symbol I wanted to, again, to bring back the pencil because what my hope is, what they started 46 years ago, is to invite all of everyone that becomes a future student. You can be an employee here because I'm living proof. You can be an employee here, work here, and study here, be a product of the college itself. There's many institutions, as it was said earlier, that help cater to different needs everywhere else, but there's nothing like the Boricua College experience. And that's why I hope, and so I'm showing you the pencil again, but this one says Boricua College. So my hope is to invite all of you one day to take a tour of the campus, see the beautiful view that's out there in the Bronx, and where it's cultural, you can feel that vibe, you know, from the neighborhood itself. Because the surrounding neighborhood, once you come by, you know, you can start experiencing that. It's a wonderful place to study, and I hope we've helped many people graduate. And so our hope is to continue to help and be successful with our graduates as they continue to come here to the institution. Okay. And anybody else have questions?
One more question, Joseph. I'd like to ask
Sure.
you, with COVID-19 ravaging places like the South Bronx? Are you
Yes.
getting a lot of the students actually coming into class, or are you doing it like online?
That's the second part of the studies. We are hybrid, so we'll do the studies. They're issuing out laptops for the students to study at home, to do the courses online. And then the two visits that a week, twice a week, the one individualized session that I mentioned with the professor, the other with the, excuse me, the group session. So they're only required to come into the building physically here at the college twice a week.
Oh, that's cool. All right, all right.
Yes, sir.
Last call. Any more questions for Joseph? Anybody? Well, I guess that's it, Joseph. Thank you so much for giving the
Thank you so
presentation.
humbly for the
You
invitation.
said you left a flyer for everybody, right?
I emailed the flyer to.
Okay, so second page. Cynthia said
Yeah,
that.
it's
Okay.
it's in this package that everyone's gonna receive
Got it.
either
Okay,
later
thank
tonight
you.
or tomorrow.
Very good. Okay.
Joseph, what happened to Miss Quinona? Edith? She's
Oh,
still
Edith
there?
Quinones is still here. She's my
All
colleague.
right, okay.
She's the CEO. So you heard of her? Yes. She just
I know
left.
her personally. I came.
Oh,
I
you
came
do?
to the college when you first opened up. I came there. I had a
Oh.
tour of the college.
Okay. Oh, that's good. So I'll tell her. Larry, what's your Larry? How can she reach? Well, you know what? I'll tell her.
Robinson. She knows me.
Okay, she Mr. Robinson. Yeah, very good. Oh, that's you see, that's great. That's a great. Thank you for saying that. See, that's important because we're still doing the job here. You know, she's been here longer. She's a senior admissions officer.
Yeah.
I just joined up.
I knew her for quite a few years now. Thank you.
Yeah, she knows her stuff.
Joseph.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good people.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Once again, thank you, Joseph, for giving the presentation. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You're
Mr.
welcome to
Robinson.
stay on if you want, or if you're
Okay.
ready to leave.
Yes, sir.
That's up to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Girl Scouts of Greater New York. Going once, going twice. Okay. Bronx River Alliance, are you here?
Hi, I'm here. How are you?
Okay, it's all yours there.
Great, thank you so much. I'm using my phone, so my phone is very close to my face right now.
That's all right. We can see you, we hear you.
Hi, I would like to say good evening to everyone. My name is Amelia Zino. I am the education coordinator at the Bronx River Alliance, based out of River House, which is located in Starlight Park. A little bit about me personally. I am born and raised in the Bronx. I live in Mount Vernon now, but still a Bronx girl, originally from Co-op City. And I wanted to speak to you all today because the Bronx River Alliance is launching a new internship for high school students called EELS, because there's EELS in the Bronx River. EELS is an acronym for Environmental Education and Leadership for Students. This is a 14-month internship that's paid that will train local high school students in environmental science research and prepare them for careers in environmental science. So this internship is ideal for students who are interested in science, any of the STEM fields really, students who are interested in public health, students who want to have careers where they can take action against climate change. And it's a really wonderful internship. It works the first summer, which will be summer of 2022. The students will be working with us in person 3 days out of the week, and then 1 day out of the week they take a college course at Lehman College through College Now. And then we meet again through the academic year, September through June. We meet 2 afternoons a week, and on occasional Saturdays we go on field trips. And then the following summer, which is summer 2023, the students, based upon the knowledge they have acquired over the course of the program, will complete a science research project. What's notable about the internship is that during the academic year, students will be mentored by members of our staff. So the Bronx River Alliance has staff who specialize in water ecology,
edible plants, Greenway, the Bronx River Greenway and urban planning. We have a variety of very talented staff who will be mentoring the students. And I just want to emphasize, if we were typing, I put this in bold letters, the internship is paid. Interns will be able to earn up to $4,000 in stipends over the course of the program. It'll be distributed as they complete different parts of the program, but they can earn a maximum of $4,000. And they will earn college credit through Lehman College. And they do not have to go to Lehman College for the credit to count. It's transferable. So the students must be going into 11th or 12th grade in September of 2022. And there's no Regents exam requirements because of COVID. So they have to have an 80 average or better and scores of 80 in math, English, and science. Applications are open. You can visit our website, bronxriver.org, to learn more about the internship and to sign up. I'm also going to put my email address in the chat. So if anyone wants to send me an email, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have about the internship. But before I go, I do want to emphasize that our goal with this internship is to work with Bronx students, because in the environmental science field, there are very few Black, Indigenous, people of color. Unfortunately, it's a field that is mostly dominated by people who are not actually experiencing environmental injustices. So we want to make sure that students from the community who deal with environmental injustice on a daily basis will get the skills they need to excel in this field and really become leaders in the growing environmental movement. Because unfortunately, their generation is the one that's going to have to deal with a lot of what's happening in the future. And we just want to make sure that they're ready and prepared with strong science education. Does anyone have any questions?
Questions? Well, I have a question. I think that's a great field for us, especially with the way we're seeing the changes in the weather, pollution, and so forth. And we have a lot of problems in our community with asthma and all these other negative things that the earth is putting in here with the pollution of the cars. So I think this is a good thing. And you have it at Lehman College and allow them to take those credits someplace else if they choose is a good thing. We need to change the outlook of people that's getting into these programs. Minorities need to get into it. We need a new face, more or less. And I think our kids are ready for this. This is a new change in their life. Thank you.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for saying that. I also saw someone mention in the chat that they're also from co-op. Did I see that? But yeah, I really want to see, more people.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Section 5.
Section 4, 1971.
Okay.
Yeah, Kevin's a co-op city kid.
My brother's the general manager. Noel Ellison.
I said to myself, I recognize that last name. But then I said, you know what? Maybe it's just a coincidence.
No, mother father.
He knows me too, because when I lived there, I was always like asking about environmental stuff. Oh my goodness.
Very much a pleasure. I'll let him know that I spoke to you.
Well, I posted your.
Have any questions about the program?
I posted hi, it's Cynthia. So I asked you to come to the meeting. Thank you for the presentation. I posted it on our website, and I do have it in this packet, so everybody will be receiving it. Hopefully, if they have any like nephews or nieces or daughters and sons, they can apply. But I will also be sending this. I posted it in we had an education meeting last night as well, so it's also in their packet.
Okay, wonderful.
And Amelia, are you able to put your information in the chat as well?
I'll do that right now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amelia.
Okay.
Amelia, I got one more question I'd like to ask you.
Sure.
Can you hear me? I
Yeah.
want to know why is it so hard for us to get our young kids to go on programs like this? Is because they never knew about it, that it exists, or is something new to them? What is the problem? We got a lot of kids in my community. We're trying to get them off the street. They're good kids. They don't get in trouble. They need leadership, and it's not working right now as far as I'm concerned. So I'm definitely going to refer a lot of people to you. Believe me.
Sure, please send them over. From my experience growing up in the Bronx, a lot of students just don't think that they can do these sorts of programs, even though they're incredibly intelligent. It's just something in the back of their mind that tells them, no, I can't.
My daughter did that yesterday.
Oh,
She saw science, and I was like, go for it. And she was like, I don't know. So it's it's intimidating for kids that they're not so educated on science. And then they see that it's going to be a lot of science. So science is not one of her strong suits. So when she saw it, she kind of like didn't want to do it. So I'm forcing her to do it anyway. And let's see how it works out. But it's intimidating for kids who don't do well in the science aspect. And then when they see pretty much the main topic, that's what it is. I think maybe if I don't know, like just like surprise them and not even tell them what they're doing, then they won't even know. I don't know.
I agree completely. One of the things we try to emphasize is the fun part. You know, like we're gonna go down to the river. You are gonna go catch fish. You're gonna get wet. You're gonna dig in the soil, and you're gonna have a good time. You know, because when I was in high school, science was just sitting in front of the computer, if even that, and just paper, pencil, really boring stuff. We try to make it as interactive as possible.
I went to a school. My high school. We actually worked on the Bronx River, so we did sample collecting. We did everything that you're doing. We did in my high school.
Ooh, which high school did you go to, if you don't mind me asking?
Fannie Lou.
Oh yeah, we still work with them very closely.
So I just think maybe if you word it differently and take out the whole science aspect, you probably get a lot more hits.
Okay. Thank you for the idea. I'm going to write that down.
Hey, you saying the aspect of the word science turns our kids off? They say, "Oh, boring."
Yeah. So like my daughter, she was reading it yesterday, and when she was like, "Oh, this is all science," and she doesn't do well with science, but she does all of the volunteering you can ask her to do, and she enjoys it. But when she saw science, she was just like turned off to it. She was like, "Oh."
Yeah, it's amazing. One word can turn somebody off like that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
So, Amelia, you said it was 14 months?
Yes.
I think that's, and I'm just speaking, I have adult children that were into science. And we're all nerds at home. So as much as we enjoy it, I just think 14 months is an extremely long commitment for a young person, especially if they're hungry and want to. So is there a possibility that you compartmentalize it where, is 14 months everything in total, or is there a benchmark where, there's a 6-month initial program that accomplishes this? Then if you see this is your thing, you can add another 6 months and finalize and because if you look at it from particularly teenagers, either early college or late high school, you're kind of contemplating at that point. That's 3 semesters of education. And it just, that's for me as a parent, it's like, okay, what is really, and even my kids, the way they think, I know them. What is the end benefit of this other than the 14-month completion? That's not the field that I'm
I'm having a little trouble.
What's noise? Hello? Ralph, can you block somebody out?
Yes, it was a caller, 646. I just blocked them. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So what I was saying is just I just think 14 months is a big sell, a hard sell, particularly in the if you're targeting the high school kids, particularly say junior into senior, there's a lot going on in that period. SATs, there's a lot of stuff going on. What's really important, what's really helpful, particularly in getting into good colleges, is targeting those kids at an early age. Get them as a freshman, because now you're building up that academic resume, which my kids had a lot of to go to. So I'm just saying, I just think the 14, the way it's shown, if it's compartmentalized, I can see that. And I've worked with other science programs here where I manage the banknote building. We actually had a grant from the U.S. Naval Academy, Naval Forces, and we did robotics and every type of science you can, mechanical science you can imagine, including programming. But a lot of the programming followed the academic year. So those are my 2 cents from a dad perspective of really nerdy science kids.
Yeah, no, I definitely, I see what you're saying. It's structured that way because the goal is to have the students get like basic skills in the first summer, build upon them, and then complete independent research in the second summer. So like you start at, let's say, level 1, then you move on to level 2, and then you move on to level 3. But I will say that if the student, starts in the first summer and decides it's not their thing, decides they don't want to continue, they'll still earn their stipend for that summer. Okay. So if, they choose to do something else in the academic year, that's okay. Same thing at any given point throughout the 14 months, if they decide that they want to pursue other endeavors, they'll still earn the cash depending on, their work.
And from what I know, science-wise, money's not the big motivator for us. It really isn't. I mean, it's great, but it's not. I think it's more the academic challenge and just benchmarking it.
Right.
So my recommendation is, obviously money talks, and it's helpful for young kids to visualize that, but maybe structure it so that first 6 months or whatever the first benchmark is, this is your academic accomplishment. Yeah. And then break it up so that they realize, right away, the first thing I zoned in on was 14 months. And I was like, oh, that's a big chunk of my high school life right there. So but if you tell me, hey, if you commit to a semester and you come out with this and you actually have 2 credits of accredited college credit, and you, if you want to continue, you can build on that. But at least I have a return on my first 6 months of investment of my time and my effort. I think that's going to be a big change of how me as a parent and the teenagers that I'm familiar with look at it. So I just think it's a long commitment right off the top. Although I know that's the intent, bring them in and keep them in, but might be a better way to market it to the kids to say, hey, and particularly when they're young, they want to take over the world. It's like, let me take over this chunk first while I'm doing other things,
I will say they earn the college credit that first summer. So they will get that in the immediate beginning. So again, if they choose, it's not their thing, they'll still have a worthwhile experience.
It sounds great though. Awesome.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the feedback.
How many credits they get the first semester, the first go round? 3, 4, 5?
I want to say it's 4. I will have to double check, but I believe it's 4 credits.
Good evening. I'm sorry, my name is Nick Von Holbeck. I'm from Easy Living Shelter. I'm not sure if you've heard about us, guys. However, we do community work. We also work with the youth as well. I have
you on Facebook.
Yeah. Yes, yes, we do a lot of programs, after school programs, and community service as well. I came in pretty late, so I didn't hear about the full extent of your program that you're talking about. So if you can email me, I would love to hear.
Sure. May I have your email?
Leave your email. If you leave your
Put it
email
in the chat box. Everything go in the chat box. That's easier to communicate.
yeah, I'll be sending out all of the flyers that are being presented today, and
Okay.
so just make sure you leave your email in the chat, and you'll be getting everything either today or tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. Also, who would I be able? Who would I speak to in reference to implementing some of the programs that we have for the youth as well into some of these schools?
The chairperson, Larry Robinson.
Mr. Robinson. Okay, wonderful.
Put your information in the chat box. I'll reach out to you.
I love it. Perfect. Will do.
Anything to help the youth, the young kids. They are future. We need to help them
that's what it's
all
about.
the way to the
For
highest
sure.
level we can help them.
Yes, sir. And just to
I
feed
just
off.
don't want them hanging out on the streets. I'm totally against that street stuff.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I seen a couple of things that really disgusted me, growing up, and it's just like I just want to change that dynamic. And just to feed off what the gentleman was saying just a little while ago, while they're young, they have the energy and they have the motivation to want to take over the world. So if we start with them now, then we can actually help them to take over the world in a positive way. So let's do something.
That's good.
All right, so I'll put my email in the chat now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any more questions? Somebody say something? No? Yeah, I'm gonna say thank you. Thank you so much for your presentation. And I'll be in touch too also again.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Girl Scouts of Greater New York, are you here? Okay, we're gonna go into old business, I guess, Cynthia. Ralph?
Yeah, go ahead.
We have announcements. I don't know if there's any old or new business now.
No, we wait till we get there. That's fine. We got old business first. Old business. Any old business? Anybody? 1, 2, 3. Over with. New business.
Hey, Larry.
Yes.
It's Ray.
Hey, Ray.
I know it's still early, but do we have like a kickoff date for our back to school and those type of things? Events?
Well, we usually do the back to school the 3rd Saturday in August.
I know that, but we usually start planning and getting things together. I just don't want to scramble at last minute. We kind of did a little bit of scrambling last year.
I was going to talk about that, but you beat me to the punch because I would like to approach the executive board, community board 2, executive board to start having meetings for the back to school event with the stipulation that if COVID is still rapidly destroying our community, that we won't have it. But with the stipulation that we can have the meetings so we can be a little more organized rather than having like a month and a half or a month to do something that usually take us almost the whole 8 months to get organized. That's a suggestion I'm gonna bring up to the executive board if we can start those meetings with the stipulation.
So what you're saying, we can't have Zoom meetings to just start planning things without permission?
That's not my call.
Larry, hold on a moment. Ray, this is all going through your committee, the special events committee. So if you bring that up on your next committee, it's not going to the executive or nothing like that, Larry. This is a special event and it's going through the special events committee. So when that chair feels he's ready to discuss the back to school event, it'll be an item on the agenda. But what Ray, you're asking for is if we're gonna date in mind. Is that what you're asking?
The date is the date. Just I know we kind of scrambled a little bit at the last minute. So I'm putting together all the events I'm part of. And I've always helped Larry in the past. So I want to make sure that, I'm ahead of the game on this.
Right. You're on the special events committee.
Yeah, no, I am. So what I'll do is I'll bring it up to V and we'll hit the ground running on that then.
February. Just have that as an item on the agenda, okay?
Wait, Ralph, that's not totally true. When I approached the executive board, I was denied the opportunity to start having meetings, discussions about how we're going to orchestrate the back to school event in August of last year. I was told no way we talking about that because it's not going to happen. Now you tell me that we're going to bring it up with the special event committee, which it should be on, but you didn't allow that opportunity to be last year.
Well, Larry, last year the dynamics were different with the pandemic. You yourself just said it. And
Yeah,
it was
but
at the
we're
very
still in the
last minute.
pandemic mode now. We're still in that. We're still having problems with COVID-19.
So then that should come up at the committee. But last year it was brought up at the executive, right? You're right about that. And they said no. And that was an executive committee decision, not a Larry Robinson or a Ralph Acevedo or a Cynthia Baez. That was your fellow colleagues that decided not to. It was in the last minute, like June, when they decided then, all right, we can have the back to school event. So you yourself just said it that you didn't have enough time to plan for this. So what was agreed upon at the executive and by Chairman Crespo is that the back to school will go through V in the special events committee. So now you have a special events committee member questioning it now. So he can bring it up at his committee. That's all I'm saying.
I'll definitely get the ball started, Larry. Last year's last year. Let's start this new year with
I agree with you. All right,
so
guys, I agree.
We're good. No, thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry I didn't mean to cause any problems.
No problem. Hey, listen.
We need the
I'm on it. I got your back.
Clarity. And Larry saying that he disagrees with me, that's not the first time. So I just gotta state the facts.
Oh yeah, no, and I totally get it, and you're right, and I definitely understand your position. The executive board is the executive board. But since they're not in the equation right now, we're pretty much the events committee, which I'm a part of, we can hit the ground running and get things going. Okay. Cool beans. Thank you, guys.
Where we at? We on new business, Cynthia?
Yeah.
Any new business? Anybody want to pop up with anything they want to say or present?
No, but I think that's it for new business. But we do have announcements, and Mr. Castillo, Ismael, he wanted to say something for Project Hope.
Okay.
Yes. Hello. My name is Ismael Castillo. I'm a crisis counselor for New York Project Hope, and we're a nonprofit organization funded by FEMA, and our focus is coping with COVID. We got extended since December, so I'm here to just let the community know that our resources are still available to the communities. We do workshops at schools of all different, like a lot of just different workshops. We do like resume building, but we also offer like mental health services, and it's like a big range. We try to make sure that community members know about food drives, co-drives. This weekend we ain't finished. We're still ongoing, helping the victims of the fire that happened and offering them whatever resources it is that they need. And yeah, so I'm just here because I know that we've had members come to community boards. It's just a reminder that we're still here, and we want to help.
Okay, I did receive, I'm not sure if it was you, but I did receive some flyers from your organization. So I printed it out and I'll scan it and send it out tomorrow. But
that'd be good.
They're already posted on our website.
Oh, nice. That's perfect. I left my email if you scroll up in the chat, but I could leave my work number too if anybody wants to contact me, or if they know anyone that needs the help, you could forward my number.
Okay, so just leave that because I actually take the entire chat and mail it out with all of the flyers.
All right.
All right, so I think we're coming to the closing meeting, but before we close, is anybody that would like to say something?
James Dobbin, is he still here?
I see
I'm
James.
here. Hi.
Oh, hi, James.
I just wanted to say hello. I thought I was going to present today, but no problem. My name is James Dobbins. I'm with Guns Down Life Up, Lincoln Hospital. I want to bring to your attention that we did apply the last RFP. As you know, with the mayor, they're looking to expand the care violence in their initiatives. Some people already thought that we was a care violence site. I mean, we do get support from care violence. Myself personally, we get discretionary funds and city council support. But now we are looking to be a care violence site officially and to expand into the community. Those of y'all who don't know, we work in the emergency room. We track all the gunshots, assaults, and stabbings. We see every patient, offer them alternatives and resources. We have a family support group with Pastor Henry. She lost her family to gun violence, and a lot of other families that lost their loved ones to gun violence. That's our intervention. Our prevention, we have our after-school program. You know, I was on the call earlier. As a bait, we use music, media, fashion, dance. These are the things we use as a carrot while we introducing workshops and real tangible life skills. It's excellent that it's hospital-based, of course, because we have every profession that's housed here. Of course, with COVID, we do a lot of virtual workshops and a lot of virtual training and things. But also, lastly, promoting community mobilization. You probably see us in the community with our tent, doing things with the health fairs. We try to engage with all the nature houses, events. I be seeing community, I be seeing you guys out there. So I want you to know we out there. We have court mandate youth. We have referrals from the 40th, from most of the local precincts. We have our winter youth employment program. We have 50 kids that are working all winter and all summer that are working alongside with us. So we here just to keep doing the work and to expand our model. We are based at Lincoln Hospital. My name is James Dobbins. Guns Down, Life Up.
James, we know you very well, James.
I know. I just had to say it, for the record.
James, I'm gonna call you tomorrow, James. I got something I want to work with you on.
No problem. I want you to know we here. We have our staff is growing, and we do looking to expand in the community. So watch out for us, and please give us your support. Thank you.
James, I have a question for you. My question with the young Latinos and the young Black kids from like 14 to 17-year-old, you have any progress with them? Because they seem to be involved in a lot of criminal activities and drug use.
A lot of we have our hands on the pulse, believe it or not. A lot of these things that I can't even say that you hear on TV, or a lot of artists that you hear, a lot of things that's going on, a lot of this drill music, and people talking about things. So yes, some of these, we have some court mandates, some ATIs, alternative to incarceration youth, that we work with that have been causing chaos, have gun charges and shootings. We work with them hands-on. They're working now with us. And we also take it a step further. We have a launch from pre-K to 5 years old. A Gun Is Not Fun. It's one of the writers from Sesame Street. We plan on launching this from pre-K. So we'll be launching this initiative in all our adolescent clinics in New York City Hospital adolescent clinics. But we want to launch it into the schools. A Gun Is Not Fun. We believe bringing awareness to the issues of gun violence and dealing with our kids and put it in their psyche from pre-K to 5 years old is key. And also starting mentorship at a younger age. We have mentees here that are 8 years old. And since I've been here at Lincoln Hospital, we had youth that were 13 that are now 18. That and knock on wood, a lot of our youth that enrolled in our program, none of them had contact with the law or have been affected by gun violence, except for, of course, except for the intervention, the ones that we trying to curve. We have a nice success record, and we just want to continue the model. So to answer your question, yes, we have much more work to do.
Okay.
But yes, we have been very effective. I could name over 25 people who've been enrolled in our program between the age of 13 and 24 that are no longer involved in gang activity or involved in their old lifestyle. That are from the Bronx, but from right here, South Bronx.
Thank you, James. You guys do great work anyway. I know that already. Hands-on, I know you guys do great work. And just the fact that you can get one kid off the street is a good thing. You work on number 2, then number 3. So as many as you can get off, continue to do your job as good as you're doing it right now. Thank you, James.
But also, let me just add, I want to collaborate. It's all about creating synergy and partnership. And, however, sometimes We could redirect people to different programs. We all have to work together as a village. I'm just going to put it out there sometime. I had somebody tell me, hey, you're trying to take our youth. And I had to correct them. I'm not trying to take other people's youth. We're trying to service the youth the best way we can. So if a youth is in our program and they want to do other things that we don't offer, or maybe they may feel comfortable somewhere else, we're welcome to that. We have to be open to work with everyone. So we're here as a village to help everyone. And I want to do collaborations and create a synergy with everyone on this phone call to better service the youth. Thank you.
Thank you too, James. Anybody else? You're welcome to speak if you haven't spoken.
I'd like to speak. My name's Nikita Van Story, and I'm from the HOPE program. I emailed over some flyers prior to the meeting, so hopefully that'll also be in the packet. Thank you so much for allowing me to listen in today. I'm blown away by the opportunities, and yes, I am also open to collaboration in any way that we can work with the young adults and adults that are within our communities. So the HOPE program is a workforce development training program. Many of you know, but I'm just going to speak in general just in case someone's not familiar. We work with job seekers throughout all 5 boroughs, and we have an office in the South Bronx as well as one in downtown Brooklyn. We serve all job seekers that are 18 years or older. They do not necessarily have to have the high school diploma or high school equivalency in hand at the time that they reach us. Right now, I'm the director of recruitment and outreach. We are actively recruiting for our Hope Works program, which is a 7 weeks of intensive job readiness, and they're getting the 8 and 16-hour credentials. All of our training programs will give them access to our wellness team. They can have clinical case management. They have an employment team that from the day they start with us in outreach, they are eager to place them into full-time employment. Internships are available, et cetera. So we're actively recruiting for Hope Works. We're actively recruiting for our HVAC training program. That program is only 14 weeks. There is 8 credentials that they will receive, and they will be training in a specialized state-of-the-art facility in Long Island City, where they have a specialty in HVAC and heat pumps. We are also actively recruiting for our cool roofs, New York City cool roofs, which allow the job seekers to learn. They'll get paid $16 an hour. And it's 10 weeks long. They will learn how to build the sustainabilities of the buildings throughout our cities. They will go throughout the cities and learn how to coat the rooftops of various buildings so that they can extend the life and environmental sustainability and energy efficiency of these buildings with this white coating. We also are we're starting to recruit for our youth build. That is a program that is exclusively for 18 to 24-year-olds. Especially if they do not have their high school equivalency diploma, while they're there getting up to 8 credentials, the OSHA 40, the scaffolding, and multiple housing operations, all of these wonderful constructions and introductions. They're also getting preparation for their task exam. We're always looking to try to make sure we fill every seat. I love sending my team out in any way to collaborate, spread the word, pass it out. If you want us to do an information session to kind of introduce you to the opportunity and speak more, I'm always open. I can put my email address in the chat again. But again, Nikita Van Story from the HOPE program. We are actively recruiting for 4 training programs, 18 and older, willing to work. But I will say, because one of the most important things about being a part of HOPE is that we want to connect you to employment. Because we work in New York City, there is a requirement that they do have to be fully vaccinated, because we want them working immediately after they complete the training. And that's just what's necessary to work in New York City. All right. Thank you so much.
Don't go away. I got a question. That program, the Cool Roof program, I think is real neat. I think that's a skill in a business that's going to boom in the near future. And I think these young people in our community should jump on top of that, because that's going to be really something, especially big buildings, housing, because we got to get ready. We don't know how the environment going to work on us in the future. I think that's something good for them. I'm glad you're doing that program. But my question is, with Project Hope, you said you're in the South Bronx. Where are you located in the South Bronx?
1360 Garrison Avenue.
1360 Garrison Avenue. 1360 Garrison Avenue. Okay. All right. I put that in my.
This is Project Hope that used to be Sustainable South Bronx. This is Jennifer.
Yes, the Hope program used to be Sustainable South Bronx. Approximately 5 or 6 years ago, the two merged. Thank you for standing.
The gentleman that spoke earlier was from a different Hope program, of the crisis regarding COVID, and then we got Miguel Calderon with Project Hope. So
yeah, because people have told me they couldn't find it. 1360 Garrison.
At the end of Garrison and at Edgewater, where the construction is happening now for the ramp, the Edgewater ramp. That's where they're located at, in the warehouse there. So it's kind of difficult due to the construction now. Like, you're not gonna find parking if you go on your own. Like, you're gonna have to walk there most likely. So
yeah, you gotta circle around a bit.
The Charter School of the Arts, right? It's on Garrison and Longfellow.
Exactly.
This is across the street, one more block down on Garrison.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
We gotta be really careful because there's 2 Hope programs and this Project Hope that offer services in our district. So we gotta make sure we know who's who here. So thank you though, Nikita.
And I had a question. Is there the training, is it paid training?
Thank you so much, James. Yes, all of the programs do have a stipend. So for the for our Hope Work, it all varies depending on the link. So for Hope Works, the 7-week job readiness, that's $50 a week. The others may range anywhere from $125 a week based on how they do. So again, the longest one is the youth bill, because that is combining the high school equivalency preparation as well as the training. So that totals out to 6 months. You can get up to $3,000 for that one. The others average about $1,500 or so. So anywhere from $300 to $1,500 over the course.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Anybody else like to say something before we close this meeting out? You want to introduce yourself? Say where you're from, what organization?
Yes, hello. Good evening, everyone. My name is Desmond Rose. I'm the director of the Hunts Point Beacon program, co-located inside of the Bronx Academy for Multimedia. I just want to say all the presenters today were great. I'm so fortunate that I logged on today. It's a wealth of information. With regards to the last presenter from the Hope program, you have a lot of amazing programs. I wonder, have you ever, or has your program had any experience co-locating off-site to provide services to community residents, especially those within the peninsula?
Because of COVID, we do a lot of virtual, like 100% virtual. We provide them with the Chromebook laptop as well as a hotspot so that they can do it. With that being said, I could totally see, and I'm very open to making sure our instructors and my outreach team is making sure that, let's say, a group of young people, a group of job seekers are set up in a different place, kind of like separate but together. Yes. When we come back and we start doing in person, we haven't done that yet, but I'm super duper open to the idea.
Awesome. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, all participants, make sure you put your information in the chat box so people can reach out and interconnect with everybody. And Cynthia will be sending out the information of this meeting to everybody that's in the chat box. Can I get a motion for adjournment?
Whoa, we got announcements, Larry. I'm sorry.
Okay, announcements. I'm sorry. Apologize, you guys.
That's okay. Cynthia, we ready?
Go ahead. So this is the Boricua College presentation that he did. So it's going to be in the packet. Go ahead, Ralph. This is the Bronx River, the EOS paid internship. You could pass the next 3 pages. Yeah, that and that one. The Bronx Fire, the drive. All we're asking is to make sure you give a call to.
I feel like at home. I'm not home yet. You're right.
And you just give a call to each location because some of the locations are not taking any more donations.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ralph. So the plastic straws available upon request. This is a Department of Sanitation initiative. Okay. Grace Institute, they're having 10 weeks of free remote training starting February 3rd. And they're going to be, and it's for females. So they're going to be teaching them Microsoft Word, Office, Google. Then this one is snow labor is needed. Tomorrow's supposed to snow, so they might as well make some money. I don't remember. I think this is DOT. Oh yeah, Department of Transportation is hiring. Hands-on, they could apply by February 15th. There's 720 Tiffany Street in the Hunts Point area. This is the I'm sorry. The management.
This is 720 Tiffany. The management is Manny. And this is actually about to close soon. So for those that are interested in
February 21st.
yes. I'm sorry, that's another month.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, is we're coming to the deadline with this. So thank you, Cynthia.
Good. This one is also 720. I gotta take that out. This is 980 Westchester, February, I think 18th or 16th. I'm not too sure. But these are more they're really low income. So if you have like a college kid that just getting started, this would be ideal for him because a studio goes for about $362 in this one.
These are the only two currently in our district that's open on the Housing Connect. So we want to advertise that as much as possible. Thank you, Cynthia.
Free welding classes, free courses for cooking, apprenticeships, and culinary skills. Tuition free. This is EOC. This is I think this is Hostel's College. No, Queens EOC. But I'm not too sure if these are going to be done virtually or online, but all of the information is there. Grants. And for the most part, the rest of the packet is scholarships and grants information and opportunity for youth. So I'll email all of this out to everyone who was in attendance today, and then you guys can browse through it and see if you can send it to anyone that it would benefit. Yeah, go back to this one, Ralph. So if you know anyone who like is homebound and they want to get tested, you can have them reach this number and they will go and test them in their house. Which is 929-298-9400. Okay, Ralph. These are all trainings. This one is we spoke about this yesterday at Education Committee. The chancellor is going to be doing a virtual town hall meeting February 9th, and you have to register in order to attend. It's going to be virtual, but you still have to register. This is Rain. They're hiring as well. Carpentry. And I just love it says jobs don't have a gender. So females, males. Stripe upcoming training programs. This is it's just more of a survey that the cities threw out.
City planning in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Justin's.
Oh, that's a double.
6 drawers.
Tomorrow they're doing updates on housing court. So they're doing like informational for expiration.
Yeah, the eviction moratorium next week. So I think it's already expired actually, but next week we know that there's cases on the housing court calendar. So that's been in pause for 18 months or so.
The Eastbound Bruckner Expressway, they're going to be going into a single lane closure on January 13th until further notice. And this is going to be a traffic pattern change on the Bruckner eastbound and westbound between 138th and Barretto Street. It started in December of December 29th of last year.
So this is the elevated portion. The elevated portion.
This is a poultry contest that Department of Environmental Protection is having. And it has all of the information attached. I think that's 16 pages. And then the last two are scholarship information. So yeah, this is all the process for it. And that's a scholarship, that's a different scholarship from Delta, I forgot the name.
It's
I'm
Delta
sorry.
sorority, Delta Sigma Theta
Okay.
sorority.
And then, so all of this will be in the package, plus whatever the whole program send me today, I will be sending all of that out tomorrow. This is another grant.
Yeah.
So that's it for our announcements.
So those that are interested, Larry, just for the sake of time, we got to fly through this. This particular package is 70 pages. One page is the agenda. So that's 69 pages of announcements and resources. We just want to make sure that we spread the word in the community. So thank you for your patience with this. Thank you.
I like that. I want the kids to know what's going on, where they can go get help, go to school, get off the streets. I'm strong about that.
Okay, so we'll just send this out to everyone who was in attendance and everyone who missed it from your meeting, and we'll go from there.
All right. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Ralph.
You just have to adjourn your meeting now.
Okay. Do I got any of my members here for the youth services, or can I adjourn it myself?
I don't know. Let me see who.
Kevin?
I'm motion to adjourn. We're very informative meeting.
Thank you, Kel. Forgot about you.
Maggie.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for showing
I'll
up.
be sending this out tomorrow. Either tomorrow night. I'm sorry, to tonight or tomorrow night. You will be receiving everything.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Don't forget about me.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night, Ralph. Let me grab this chat.
Yes, I'm waiting for you. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.